my YouTube channel. I'm Chris Daybell, and you're watching this week's adventure. So I've filmed this episode 3 times now, or this makes number 3. The first 2, I was sitting on my couch in my house explaining what I was fixing to do, and I realized that since, you know, this channel is about adventure and scenery and going out and doing things, I didn't need to film my opening episode sitting on a couch. So I came out here to sit in front of a camera and tell you guys what I'm gonna do. I'm 30 years old. My plan is to sell my house, which technically that should be already taken care of. It's under contract right now. But my plan is to sell my house, buy a Sprinter van, convert it over to something to live in, and then take off across the nation and go see it all. That being said, I am an extreme sports enthusiast. I love anything that gets my adrenaline pumping. I've been a skateboarder, a wakeboarder, snowboarder, BMX guy. I rode a little bit of motocross whenever I was growing up. But my point is, anything that gets the blood flowing, I love doing. And I don't know how much of me you can see on this angle, but I'm a very big guy to be doing the stuff that I like to do. So I tend to draw a decent amount of attention. That being said, I hope this channel is interesting for you guys, and you can find as much entertainment in my forms of pleasure as other people around me have. But I'm going to take off as soon as the house is sold and the Sprinter van is built. It looks like I'm going to go towards Texas first. Probably will find places to hit between Georgia and Texas, because Northwest Georgia is where I call home now. From Texas, going to go Arizona, New Mexico, all the way over California, up the coast, and then zigzag back through the middle of the country too. I'm not sure exactly the route, because I've realized already my plans have changed several times. I'm going to kind of just wing it. But I'm going to try to post as daily as I can. That way you guys are up to date with where I'm at, or so on and so forth. If I get out on the road and I can't edit fast enough and keep up with it fast enough, I'll use some form of social media, via Facebook, Instagram, something to let people know where I'm at. The reason I want everybody to know where I'm at is, if you do any of these sports, or if you find this channel interesting, period, and you would like to hang out and ride, or just go grab a bite to eat, whatever, get in contact with me. Send me a message. Let's get together. I'd love to meet you. I love meeting people everywhere. I've got friends all over this country from wakeboarding and skateboarding and snowboarding and all these other sports. Plan on stopping in and seeing as many of them as I can possibly cram in. So if I forget you, I'm sorry. You should have reached out to me in time, because honestly, I can't remember everybody, and I can't remember where everybody is exactly. So if you don't reach out to me, I will probably end up passing you up, and we'll already be gone before I realize I even missed you. So about this area that I'm in, I'm on Grassy Mountain, which is in the northwest corner of Georgia. It's in between Dalton and Ellijay. It's a mountain that a lot of outdoorsy kids grew up coming out here and camping and just playing in the woods, doing whatever, just exploring. Like this area right here is actually a campsite that we used to camp at a good bit. Well, I grew up coming to this area and had not been here in a very long time. Actually had a pretty rough winter period, financially, mentally, a lot of different things there. And I was sitting at home one day, was not in a good mood, I was just having a bad day, the best way to put it. A friend of mine pulled up and picked me up, said she was gonna go hiking, asked me if I wanted to go. Turns out she was coming here, my old stomping grounds. Well, we came up here and explored, And as we were walking through the woods, I came up on these 2 trees that I've walked past my whole entire life, but I've never noticed them. I don't know why, but I just never did pay attention to these 2 trees. So as I'm passing them, and I was having all kinds of deep thoughts to myself all day, I looked up at those 2 trees and just started really appreciating, I don't know, nature and life and everything in between. Well, I realized that my overall mood and morale just completely changed from doing nothing but walking out in the woods and looking at these 2 trees. Well, I'm actually walking up to them now. I'm starting to get out of breath. This is a pretty steep hill to get to them. So that waterfall that I was just at is way down here now. That's pretty... I'm out of shape. It's been too long since I've done this regularly. But anyway, so these 2 trees really got me thinking, maybe this depression that I've been dealing with is to do with the fact that I'm an explorer. I was meant to go out and look at things and go see new areas and crawl in every crack and crevice of this planet that I can. And I don't know, I'm serious. Looking at these 2 trees literally is what started this entire process that you're seeing right now. It's that simple. I walked up on them, and whenever I looked up and realized, holy crap, these are really big for Northwest Georgia. Well, I got in this mood where I wanted to just go see more and more trees. Well, of course, some of the greatest trees on the planet are in Sequoia and Redwood National Forest. So I started itching to go see them. Well, financially, there was no way that I was able to. And I started weighing out options and everything else. I realized that the only thing I really had that was worth anything was a home. And it was worth more than I had in it. So I called a realtor and explained to him that I was contemplating putting it on the market. He advised me as to what he thought it was worth, current state, and what it would sell for. I did some math on it and realized that I can go on this trip and come home and not be broke and busted like everybody's going to expect. So I pulled the trigger. We listed my house. It was on the market for just a few days, and I've got an offer already. It's under contract. I close on the 13th, actually. March the 13th, and we are on, I cannot remember what today is. I'm wanting to say today is the 4th, maybe? Yes, actually it is. It's Star Wars Day. It's May the 4th. So, anyway, I got about 9 days, actually. I got 9 days. I'm supposed to close on the house, and I'll be buying a Sprinter and going on this trip. But these right here, this big tree and this big tree, are the 2 trees that started this whole adventure. Now, this big pine it's actually dead. Don't know how much of the top of it you can see in this video, but it's dead. This other one is alive. But this tree's somewhere in the neighborhood of, I don't know, realistically probably only about maybe 150 feet tall. And I was told that some of these redwoods are 300. And I've seen pictures where 5 and 6 people aren't even covering up one side of the stump. Well, it would take probably 2.5 of me to reach around this tree. And this is a pretty decent sized tree for Northwest Georgia. I'm sure, yes, there are occasions where you'll see some way bigger and a whole lot more to it. But for this area, this is pretty big. So anyway, yeah, I'm fixing to walk back up to the car and get in and drive around, maybe show you guys a little bit more of this. But in a nutshell, that's pretty much how this channel is going to be. Just a whole lot of adrenaline-fueled entertainment. So, yeah, I'll update you guys as often as I can. And as far as this episode goes, I believe I've rambled enough. So, I love this place. There was one night we were up here camping. I hung a hammock up here right over top of this. These mountain laurels have grown so much you can't really tell where I was, but I was right over top of this falls. And that was one of the most peaceful sleeps. Man, it was awesome. Don't see any more salamanders. Bad thing is, as soon as I spot them, I go to turn the camera on and they're gone. Alright, well, I think that's going to pretty much wrap up this one. I'm going to get back across this creek without getting wet or dropping this camera in the water. Oh, and I'm going to rock this roller. Look at that. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna cross this, hopefully without getting wet, go home and pack the rest of my stuff up so that I can go on an adventure, I guess. Anyways, been fun.